If I start telling people about hell, I might just scare them off. Where are you going to scare them off to? Hell number 2? Or are you just going to sit there and let them burn?
What I'm also noticing too, well, this is obvious, but the psychological torment that a lot of these victims go through, and you kind of touched on it earlier, but when I'm watching the film and I'm looking at the people breaking down and crying, they feel like they don't know where to go. They feel like no one is going to believe them. Because, I mean, in all actuality, even what you're saying now, it sounds like a Hollywood movie. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like one of those movies where you go to a small town and everyone's a Satanist you don't know. So it's very perplexing to some people out there that this could actually happen.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's no doubt about it. And there's a ton of movies like that. I mean, how many movies have we seen, from 40 years ago where somebody wanders in the wrong town and they find out everybody's a Satanist? They had to get these ideas from somewhere,
Well,
absolutely. Yeah. In the film, I have a clip that's an interview with, help me out, I forget his name, Christopher Lee, okay? Very famous actor. And this is a very old clip. And this guy speaks very matter-of-factly about his knowledge of satanic cults. I don't know how he knows. I don't know if he was involved. I can't say that he was, but I can't rule it out. But he was like, this is going on, and it's going on everywhere. And just talk to the law enforcement, and they'll tell you. Of course, that was, that interview was in black and white, and it was a long time ago, and it was back when he was playing Dracula, long before he was, Saruman. But it's fascinating nonetheless. So, yeah, it is. It's like a Hollywood movie, except for it's real. It's real.
Well, something that always interested me is the X-Files. As a big fan of this show, the X-Files. I can't remember what season it was. Maybe season 4, maybe 2, maybe 3. Season 2, 3, or 4. One of the episodes was about a town where there were a couple of deaths. Agent Scully and Fox Mulder were investigating, and it turns out the entire town was part of a coven. The entire town itself, every aspect of the town was part of a coven. And it was unsettling one day when I learned that the writers of X-Files were actually using real FBI files. They had FBI consultants that were providing them real case files to write the scripts for the show. So that's admitted by the writers of the FBI. And it started me wondering about episodes like that, if the FBI had worked a case at one time that really involved a story like that. Now, obviously, things were changed in the script, but when you look at some of the more recent cases in the last couple years of, say, like an Amish group, maybe in Ohio or someplace else up in the north or the Northeast, where it kind of turned more cult-like, where it wasn't really just a group of like-minded people living life with a specific set of values and rules. You find out there was one leader that was, forcing sex on 20 or 30 of the girls in the camp. It was much more of a cult than it was anything else. And then you start realizing that, some of those elements in some of those cases, actually, it appears that it quite possibly was a coven that was hiding with the guise of being Amish. And that kind of set me on a whole new path of looking at some of these small groups, but towns and otherwise, that have an appearance, but it's really a facade to allow them to actively worship and conduct rituals in a Luciferian fashion away from the prying eyes of outsiders.
If you like our videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all our frequent updates.